Greetings, everyone. I'm Wet Hamster,
And I am M4.
and I'm wearing a bit of a different armor set this time.
Indeed.
I'm probably the most useful early game armor, the Hunter's set.
Ah, yes, the hunter sets.
Mostly it's useful because of its defense.
Exactly.
At this point of the game, it has probably some of the highest defense. Also, look at those dead eyes. I have to point this out.
Every time, right?
Yeah.
Good. Also, you're using a hammer.
Yeah, I thought I'd break out a hammer for once.
I can get behind that decision.
Yeah, I like hammers. They're pretty cool. So, this armor set, it is very handy for new hunters because of auto tracker. I can see where monsters are all the time, no problem. And this is pretty good also for free hunting. You can see the map whenever, just the whole map. I mean, the barbecue expert is really good to, practice if you're not very good at doing the barbecue minigame. It'll give you more frames, or I think it's like an entire second where you get time to press, like when it's well done or something like that.
Right. It makes it easier. We'll just go with that.
But otherwise, altogether, I'd say this is a very good set for melee users, just because of the increased defense.
Absolutely.
I was just checking the lady there because I haven't gotten the combo book and I kind of want it. As you can see,
They are pretty handy.
Basically, what combo books do is, as you can see, it says it's 100% success rate to make a potion. And that's because I have one combo book on me. Oh, wait, no, right. I guess I have both of them.
Well, there you go then.
Okay, well, with the combo... Normally, regular potions success rate will be... I think it's 95%, but with one combo book, your combo success rate bumps up with +5.
Right.
Which is why the chainmail armor is very good if you don't have any combo books. It pretty much counts as having all 5 combo books, and there are 5 combo books in the entire game.
Right.
Oh man, should we show her our marks? Because I didn't get any.
Oh dear.
Maybe I could pretend something is a bite mark. I'll show off.
Sure, sure.
Yeah, I survived this Jeer's bite. It almost bit me in half. Of course, I was so awesome that I just dodged out of the way of its attacks and never got touched, so,
Pretty much.
Probably just a great jaggy scratch anyways.
You haven't even fought a great Jaggy yet.
Oh, well, spoilers. But no worries. So, our new target is a ludroth.
Indeed.
Jeepers creepers. Well, the thing is, we already fought a ludroth before in our little free hunt roaming.
We sure did, and they sure were weak.
So, it's just normal small little critters, and I'm not exactly sure why she's panicking about him. They're not dangerous.
She has no frame of reference. She can't go hunting.
Well, she has her book that I'm pretty sure she pretends reading.
It's just a really bad book.
Yeah. I'm gonna open my book. Oh, wait, the pages are blank. Well, I guess I can't read from... Oh, right, this is my notebook. Well, I guess I have to actually open the notebook this time. She's the worst... She's the worst guildie ever.
At least she's trying. Not really.
No, no, she really isn't. This is probably why she chose an outpost like this.
Probably. Very little work.
Very little work, but now since they finally got a hunter in the village, now she actually has to start doing work, or pretending that she's doing work.
Yeah, pretending to do work is more appropriate, yes.
Yeah, in reality, she's just a big slacker.
Pretty much.
Ah, this is why I don't like her, amongst other things.
Amongst other things, yes.
Ah, so this here is an urgent quest. To get progress, you need to do the key quests, as I mentioned in an earlier video, and then after doing the key quest, you gain a urgent quest. When you complete the urgent quest, it's like, I guess the check to see are you skilled and equipped enough to continue on.
Right.
And then
you can't handle
You go.
Urgent quests are generally an easier quest from the next set.
Hmm.
So if you can't handle them, then you shouldn't be doing the next set, yes.
Or your gear might be fine, but you need to practice more.
Right. It doesn't matter why you can't handle it, but if you can't handle it, there's something wrong.
Yeah. And I decided not to do a little jump cut, just because I'm going to be introduced to a very special little cutscene.
Oh, how exciting.
Oh, yeah, they're going to introduce ludroths for us. Majestic. Very majestic. Just tossing themselves against the dirt, just sliding across.
It's almost a face plant.
Yeah. It actually is kind of a face plant. Well, they seem to be having a discussion, possibly about what interior decorations they should have in their cavern.
Yes, they have their own diviner.
Mm-hmm. And perhaps if they should have a tea party. Oh, Margaret, it would be wonderful to have a tea party, yes. And then I come and crash their conversation.
And they're very upset about it.
I come and crash their conversation by murdering them.
Well, that's one way to stop the people from talking. Murder them.
Preferably, I'm stopping their conversation by caving in their skulls, which is indicated by the big spark.
Sure, we'll go with that.
Well, how else would you explain that graphical effect? These sparks indicate that you hit the head.
You got me. Fair enough.
Yeah. There's really not much to it other than it's a graphical effect that shows you hit the head.
Pretty much, yeah.
It's actually a very nice indicator. And as you can see, not too tough. They're a little bit more dangerous underwater because they're more agile.
Yeah, but they're still small monsters. No getting around that.
Yeah, if I really need to, I can just take a first aid med. It's not too dangerous.
Not at all.
But the rest of them should be in Area 11. This is just a simple urgent quest, so, nothing too simple. Nothing too simple. This is a simple quest. But it's nothing too hard. It's just a simple slaying quest.
Yeah. Just a quick slaying mission, Kill these many and then be whisked back to town.
But I will say, if you need ludroth parts like hydro hides and immature sponges, this is pretty much the quest to do.
Yep. They're not nearly this common otherwise.
And on top of that, you can do rewards in the reward box.
Yes.
But I believe this is... Yep, that was the last one.
Indeed. Good job hunting very weak monsters.
Well, I think basically this one urgent quest was just basically the tutorial on how urgent quests work.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's literally what it was, just telling you, hey, urgent quests exist.
These are a thing. Go do them.
If you do these, you'll gain access to better missions.
Better, by which we mean harder.
Really, 1 star is still really heavily in the tutorial area where they're just explaining the various aspects of quests.
Right. 2-star gets out of it a bit more, but it's still early stuff to get you used to the mechanics.
Mm-hmm. Like there they start taking the what is called training wheels off a little, but not all the way. Right.
They stop nagging you constantly, telling you things directly, but you still are doing fairly simple stuff to learn.
They still nag you a little, but not too much.
Yeah, but not nearly as much.
And those were terrible rewards.
They sure were.
Barely any items.
Have fun with those.
No, I enjoyed them.
It's a bigger boat.
I do love bigger boats.
This is a good boat.
Big boats, and I cannot lie.
Oh dear. You'd get along fine with the pun lady.
Yeah. And you may also notice the sprightly festive music. going on.
Because we've got a fancy boat.
Yeah. In fact,
Also,
the village elder will explain.
Oh, no.
sure will.
But
Also,
first,
everything is half off.
yeah.
It's a great time to stock up on basic supplies.
And this happens whenever the big boat is in town. It is a trade vessel, actually. I'll just spoil it here, you know. Because, well, honestly, I'm going to be talking to a lot of NPCs, and they're all going to mention the big trade vessel.
Yeah.
And remember when, early on, we spoke to, I believe it was the pun lady?
We talked about his connections.
Yeah, well, this happens to be one of his connections. And now I gain access to being able to buy a combo book 3.
Even though it's expensive.
It is very expensive at this point of the game.
And they don't give you half off on things like that.
Mm-hmm.
They're onto your ways.
And she does give a good hint on a good use for rare stakes right here.
She sure does.
That's some good combos to have. Oh, I feel a pun coming up.
There's always a pun coming up.
Oh. Oh no. But I think we need to talk to our furniture cat.
Oh dear.
Oh no, he thinks he's a dog. Maybe if I hit him the hammer and KO him, he'll be alright.
Maybe, if we're lucky.
If we're lucky. But he might be too far gone.
Worth a shot. It'd be satisfying,
Oh.
even if it didn't.
Well, it's a cat, so it'll be satisfying regardless.
Exactly.
And, you know, this crewman, he just goes back and forth from the boat to Sunny Boy there and drops off a barrel.
No,
Yeah.
bye.
Comments on how much he likes Mocha Village.
How he likes the food and the people and the weather. You know, it's basically a vacation spot for him. Well,
Whatever.
aside from the fact that he's working all the time.
Well, obviously.
But I'm sure he has some breaks. You know, union rules.
Unions.
And,
As if there's unions in the Monster Hunter universe.
well, apparently there is, since you have the entire guild who has all these rules.
Yeah, they don't exactly give you breaks, though.
They're really strict on union rules. You're only allowed to hunt for so long, then you have to take a break, then you have to stop.
You've got a point. There's no real other reason for the 50-minute time limit,
Yeah.
is there?
It's just, yo, lunchtime. 50 minutes.
Hi.
You didn't finish? Too bad. Come on.
You're forced to have lunch now. Come back. But, one thing I'd like to point out is, commodities were mentioned by the, guy with the barrel, the crewman. And, he's absolutely correct. This is where commodities come into play. They aren't just used for the farm. There's so many people who wants to talk to us. It's like we're
All
popular.
of them. You finished an urgent. Everything has happened.
Yeah, basically whenever you finish an urgent or enough key quests, things will happen in town and everybody will generally want to talk to you and have things to say.
And now he wants you to make an insect box.
Well, you know, I like insect boxes.
Why wouldn't you?
If there were any insect you wanted more of, you can do it with most insects. There are some exceptions. Thunderbugs, rare scarabs, and killer beetles and glue hoppers are the 4 insects you can't do anything with.
Which is unfortunate, because they'd all be very nice to have more of.
All of the special high rank only insects you can't do anything with either, but you're not really supposed to use the multiplayer only type stuff for single player regardless.
Yeah, that would be kind of strange.
And here they introduce you to charms. If you've noticed in my equipment, there is usually an extra equipment slot where it said charms. Well, this is like a thing you can equip and then you get some free skill points in something. depending on what kind of charm it is.
Yep. They can be very useful.
They can also be very bad.
Yes.
Generally, the ones that are very bad, you just toss out.
Sell them. You get money. A little.
Also, that secret of his, I didn't really need to know it.
Oh dear. You're gonna say that a lot throughout the course of this game.
Yeah.
Did not need to know that.
These kids, they need to keep a few things for themselves. You know, to themselves. So, yeah. But, you know, let's talk to the village chief.
Have him explain about how valuable things in Moga Village are, apparently.
And, the Argosy is apparently the ship's name.
Yep.
And, he is a wealthy merchant from the east where the Wyvernians live, apparently. The people with the big ears that look like humans, but turn into tiny midgets when they grow old.
For some reason.
Yeah, it's never really explained, I think. It's just
a thing.
It's Monster Hunter biology. Oh god, do you see the constant grinning face on that kid?
Yes.
It is absolutely terrifying.
Oh dear.
And that grin never ends, because it's just painted on his face.
Yep.
And there they explain a little bit about the cat carding. The reason why your money goes down is because the cats take hazard pay for going to pick your corpse up so you don't die.
Well, can you really blame them?
No, and that's why when you lose your mission, you lose all the money, and there's no reason to do the hunt when there's nothing to gain for it. Well, I would still hunt them, but that's more out of pride.
Yeah. The guild forces you to come back. They're like, you're not getting paid for this. Stop working. Union rules.
Yeah.
No working for free.
But how else am I going to get jobs if I don't do their jobs? Because everybody goes to them for their jobs. Oh well.
Oh, well, indeed.
And you may notice the accent that our Argosy captain has. I wonder how that worked out in Japan, considering in the English, German, and French versions of the game, he uses Japanese words and kind of speaks half Japanese-ish, sorta, and kind of like, oh, sorry, let me translate a little bit better.
Right.
I wonder how that worked out. What is it even like? He's supposed to be an Englishman, and then he speaks half Japanese. I kind of wonder. Or maybe that pun, the whole idea where he speaks half one language and half another is entirely removed from the Japanese version of this game. Who knows?
Not sure.
But basically,
interesting question, though.
But basically, this is how the boat works. You can send them on voyages. Right now, I only have access to one area, so it doesn't really matter. But the more places I send them to, the longer time it takes for them to get back.
Right.
But I'm going to quickly show how the trade system works. I can't really show the rare trade yet because I cannot get rare commodities. But
this is not technically true. You could get...
I technically could, but, you know...
You would suffer for it. Put it that way.
It's not worth it. So, all these commodities that I've been gathering, I can use them here. I just have to match the price, or the bar, if you will. So, let's toss a few of these in, and some of these. And, deal. And there you go. And then I can get some stuff.
Yeah.
Bam.
You get some pretty good stuff as the game goes on.
Mm-hmm. And here is some of the things you can get with rare commodities. They're not, you know, rated with a bar, but with a star instead. And there's a comic book 4, and I'd really like that. You generally
it's
want
pretty nice.
You generally want all the combo books.
Yes.
And the gimmick with this cat is he is French.
He sure is, because everyone knows the French are great cooks.
Also, he speaks like felines normally do in the series, where they replace words with meow and other cat noises.
Yeah.
And her take, cat is terrible to talk to. Again, I kind of wonder how the Japanese version of this. Actually, I kind of wonder what the French version of this was, because then they can't really play on the pun that it's a French chef.
I bet they still did.
They probably still did, actually, but it wouldn't be as effective, to be honest.
Ooh. Well, he's your chef now, so you're gonna have to put up with him.
Unfortunately, the chefs are not as good in Freedom Unite, but to say the least, they kind of streamlined the cooking system.
Yeah, they did. It's much simpler.
You don't need to hire multiple chefs anymore or anything like that, and have them specialized in different things. It's just a bit more random, but you don't have to do any micromanaging.
Right.
I'd say it's nicer for new players. And he even gives me a free voucher, saying, "Here, take this, chef. I don't want him."
Yeah. Can you blame him?
No. I will say the chef has some interesting stories about the vegetables and meats that you cook with.
This is true. You actually get to hear what some of these things are.
Exactly.
And that I appreciate greatly.
It's the little things that count. And as you can see,
some of the ones you get to like the really special foods, some of them are like, how the hell do you have this so often if it's this rare?
And as you can see, I have a bug box that I made.
Sure do.
I'm gonna go grab my seeds that I started a while back. But as you can see, I got herbs, mushrooms, and there's some. I can even put a bug in there. But for now, blue mushrooms. I'm gonna be needing potions. I can't quite buy potions from the vendor yet, but that'll eventually happen.
Yeah, and that'll be much easier once it does.
But I decided to quickly just show off like bugs. I can put a bug there, and I don't want to do anything too expensive.
Of course.
I do want to use a Saturnian trap. That's kind of the reason why I decided I wanted to choose bugs instead. The reason for the Saturnian trap is it is a bug fertilizer.
Yeah.
But you can get some special items from it. You can get commodity items from it.
Indeed.
Sometimes a rare commodity. Oh.
It's generally pretty worth it to use them. Yeah.
I'd like to notice, or not notice, but note that the lamp changes colors. It's kind of psychedelic. I never noticed that until recently.
The psychedelic mushroom lamp, yes.
I should really talk to the Chamberlain cat sometime about his dog habits. But for now, see you next time.
Oh dear.